Okay, so to get started, we're going to create a new project, then new composition, and right now we're here at 6 seconds. I'm not quite sure yet how long this is going to end up being. I'm just going to do 10 for now. You can always go and change it later, and we'll keep this at 1920 by 1080 and a frame rate of 24. You can go ahead and name it. We're going to be doing a pouring animation, so I'm just going to name it pouring and click OK. Now what you're going to do is you're going to press Control Y on your keyboard. This is going to bring up a solid setting. This is just going to be our background color. You can pick a color for your background, because remember this, if you pick a color here, it's just going to export black. So just choose whatever kind of color that you might want to do for that. Again, make sure you can see all of your frame, okay? We can let me move this down. Okay, so we're going to choose our type tool, and we're going to come over here and find a better font to use. I want something a little bit bold. Maybe this one, the TW Sin MT Condensed Extra Bold. And we can go ahead and pick a color that you want to use. This is going to be like for we're going to create a cup, but out of using letters instead. Okay. You can go ahead and increase that. I'm not really sure how much. I'm going to just do 100 to start off. We'll click here, and I'm going to type the letter U. Let me go and put that in full to see what that really looks like here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and change this color to purple. Scale it bigger. Get my selection tool, kind of move this here. Okay, now we are going to add like a little stem, like kind of like a wine glass. So get your type tool again. I want a new one. Okay, I'm going to put T here. Okay, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to rotate this. To 180. So I'm going to move this here, and we're just going to move this up, and we'll change these to make them look better in just a second. Okay, so now what we're going to do is convert these letters into shapes. So we're going to click on the U, right click, create shapes from text. Come to the T, right click, create shapes from. So now we'll come to this T, the U that has the T beside it. And I backspace to delete that. I'm going to press this T now with the T beside it, backspace to delete that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we'll select this T first, and we're going to use our pen tool. See if I can select both of them and move them down at the same time. Now we're going to open up this window align here. Okay, so you should see this. We're going to click on this U, and we're going to click this one to center it. Okay, and then this one will do the same thing to center that, and then we can bring that down. And it doesn't look quite centered right there. Okay, and I want this U to be a little bit wider, so I'm going to get my pen tool. So I want there to be a little bit more room here for the liquid to pour in. Okay, so I have my pen tool. I'm going to select this one, hold shift, and keep selecting these. Okay, so those sides, and then I'm going to click on this one. I'm just going to move it to the left a little bit. Now I will click off. Oh, get my U back. I'm going to select this one, hold shift, select these. So basically all of them but the center. We'll click and drag this out just to make it a little bit wider. Oop, I went down a little bit too far. Okay. It's your selection tool. You can look at that. I think I'm fine with that. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my T, get my pen tool, and I'm going to select these two down here. And I'm just going to move these up. Okay, so now let's see. We need to select both of these. Can we? Select, hold shift, select both. We're going to move this down. Want it to stay in the middle. That way we have room to see our pouring here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, with our rectangle tool here, go ahead and find a fill color. You can always change it later. I'm going to just do a red, and I don't want to stroke. 0, right? Okay, anyway, I'm going to make a rectangle. Okay, so what you can do is come down here to the transform, turn down the opacity a little bit, and we want that to be lined up with the height of our, what is it called? U here. And I can see that this side of my U is taller, so I want to go back and select my U. Pen tool. Okay, and get my selection tool. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of center this a little bit here. And I'm going to go to my effects and presets. If it's not showing up, you can press Control 5. And we're going to look up the wave warp, and I'll double click that for that to come on here. So you want to mess with these settings. So I'm going to move this wave width up. Okay, I'm going to move the height up a little bit. I don't remember where it was. Then I'm going to come to this wave speed, and I'm just going to change that to 1.5. Okay, so on this shape layer that you have, we're going to press P for position. Okay, we're going to come over to 2 seconds and press this position keyframe here. We'll come back to the beginning, and at the beginning we will then just start, oh, not that way. Start dragging this down so that it is below our cup. Okay, so you want to go ahead and play your animation. And what you're looking for here is that at 2 seconds that the liquid is here below the cup and not like way up here, okay? Okay, so another thing we want to do is here at 2 seconds, when the cup is going to be full, we're going to come to the wave height and change it. Whoa, don't do that. Change it to 0. So it'll even out there, okay? And that didn't work because I didn't put my keyframe in. So let's undo that. Okay, I'm going to come back here, insert this wave height, and come over here. And now I will go and change this to 0. Okay, so then as it fills, it stops getting wavy. Okay, so now what we're going to do is create like a clipping mask so that only you can see the pouring inside of the U shape. So make sure you have nothing selected here, and you're going to get your pen tool. Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit here, and I'm just going to start here and kind of just make this shape. Doesn't have to be super perfect. Okay, when you're done, you can kind of bring it down a little bit. Doesn't have to be super exact. I'm going to name this mask. And then this is my pour. Pour fill. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so down here we're going to press F4 to bring up this track matte. And we're going to come to here and select mask. That's not quite right, but close. So we need to move these below our cup. So we're going to go ahead and select both of these layers holding shift, and we'll move them below both the U and the T. So right before your background. Okay, so now let's try it. And now you can see our cup filling. It goes a little bit too high. I don't know if I can go and edit it. I might just leave it. Not a huge deal. Yeah, let me get my pen with my pen tool. I'm just going to move this mask like right level with this. Okay, now I'm going to try it. Okay, that's better. Okay, another thing I want to do for now is, let's see, my pour fill. Let me change this color as it's getting me confused. The pour fill, my pour fill right now is kind of reddish, so I'm going to change that to red. And I'm going to change that one to red. So I'm going to come here and bring back my opacity. Play it again. I'm going to play it. Okay, so looking at this, the pouring kind of happens like immediately. So what we're going to do is on our pour, we are just going to move this down to give it a little bit of time before it starts moving up. Okay, and then since we moved that one, we can go ahead and move this down a little bit. Okay. Okay, then what we want to do is just click and drag over these keyframes here and right click and keyframe assistant and do easy ease. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create the pouring that's going to come down from the top of the cup. So let's go ahead and come to frame 0. And we're going to get our pen tool. And we'll start down here at the bottom of the cup. And maybe not there. Undo. And we're going to come just right above this composition. Okay, can't see. Right above it here. If it doesn't look straight, then you can try to fix that. So it should look pretty straight this way, okay? Okay, so then we want to add a stroke to that. So why is it being so slow? You can go ahead and increase that stroke size. And I'm going to go ahead and move this down to the bottom. Okay, so now what we want to do, and this right now is our shape layer 1. That's going to be our pour. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this to pour. And I'm going to click this drop down arrow here and then click it again for contents, click it again for shape 1, come down to stroke and click it again. And where it says line cap, right now it says butt cap, we're going to change that to a round cap. So that's just going to round the end of our line, which we can't see because mine is coming through here. But if you did need to see it, you can see now that this line is rounded. So I'm just going to zoom in here and get this so that when this pour happens, it's going to hit right. This line here is going to hit right on the cup, and then it will start to fill up. Okay, so we can now collapse this back up, and we're going to click over here. Okay, We're going to click this play button here and we're going to select trim path. Then we're going to open up, collapse this down so that we can see our trim path options. Okay, so we want to change the start all the way to 100. So this should happen here, okay? Then we're going to insert our little keyframe on both of these. Then we're going to move forward. We don't want to move forward too far. Right now I have my animation starting here at 1 second. Let's go maybe to 12. I'm not sure. Might change it. Okay, actually, let's go, I don't know. I'm just going to do it here for now. I am going to now move these start in to 0. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do here where it says start, these two top diamonds here, we're going to select only those two top ones and move them forward. How far? I'm not sure right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and select all of these, and we're going to right click and select Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. Okay, so that's like what we have so far. It's coming down, and here is probably where we want our, what is it called? Pouring to start is right here. So about where the red starts popping up, about right there, we're going to move this frame forward to about right there. So let's look at that. And it's full, but it continues to pour, so it needs to stop pouring about right here. I'm not sure where I need to move these. I don't know, there? This is a little bit confusing. We'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and we want to change our color for that to red. Let's see. So I press my stroke and I can go and select, well, I guess I have to select it here. That same color there. Let's go back. I don't like the way that comes down further. So with this line, I need to come and move it forward a little bit. Does it go down a little bit too far again? Yes. So move it forward up a little bit. Okay, that looks better. I'm gonna come to right here where it kind of starts to stop pouring. I'm gonna move over 2 frames from there. So here, I'm moving 1, 2. Okay, we are going to, where is this? We're gonna go to shape, stroke, and we're gonna go to stroke width, and we're at this point here, we're gonna go ahead. Oh, I didn't put a keyframe on there though. Let me go back to, where was the other one? Right here. So go back to here, and we're going to add the stroke width keyframe. Okay, then you're going to move up 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2. And we're going to start increasing that. Decreasing that to make it skinnier as it starts to head out. So let's see what that looks like if we need to move that over. Okay, I think that's fine. Then we will highlight both of those. Right click, Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. We're going to go to Window, Effects and Presets, Control 5, and you'll see these here. We want to find that wave again. And it was Wave Warp. We want it on the pour. So put that there on the pour. Just bring it over here where you can actually see the line. Okay, so the wave warp should appear over here, and we're going to change the direction to 180. Then we will come to the wave width, and that's what we want to increase so that it's not super squiggly. That's just kind of up to you how you want it. Can always change it. Okay, so that's it for that. I know right now we have this at 10 seconds, so let's see. We're gonna cut it down. So I'm gonna come here, and maybe it's gonna stop at 3 seconds. So I'm gonna go to composition settings, and I'm gonna come and change this to 3. Okay. So this time we're going to export it as a GIF. We're going to do that instead. So we're going to go to File, Export, same thing, add to Adobe Media Encoder. Okay, so I have already done this, so mine preset's already on the right one. So you're going to come to this first drop down, and usually it's on the H264. So you want to come up here and you want to change it to animated GIF. Okay, don't change it to GIF because that will just render out a bunch of images. Do animated GIF. Then over here, you want to make sure, no, this is either way. If you want your background to show, you need animated GIF. If you want it to be transparent, you choose transparent. Now, if you already have a background on there, I'm not sure if it's really going to be transparent, so don't take my word for that. Then you want to come to Output File. And make sure you know where you're saving it, okay? So go ahead and save. You can press the render button, the green play button there. Let it render, and then just when it's finished, of course it's going to say done. We'll click on that and view it. Okay, so it's done. I'm going to click on this. And so now I have a GIF instead of the video, okay? We won't always do this. It is easier for me to have videos turned in because I don't have to download them. I can just play them. But for this one, I just wanted you to know that you can make GIFs here. So then you'll turn in that file.